Well, the generosity of 700 Club Canada partners goes a long way in supporting ministries all across Canada. Here to discuss the impact in Vancouver is Dean Kurpjuweit, president of Union Gospel Mission, located in the heart of the city. Dean, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's really good to be here.
Okay, so you've been the president at UGM for about a year and a half now. And what have you learned in that time about the community the organization serves and that you think all of us should know?
Yeah, so I moved here from Edmonton. And so, you hear a lot about the downtown east side, East Hastings, the problems that are going on down there. It's got a reputation that's really across the nation. And what I didn't really understand was the level of sadness. It's one thing to see it when you kind of drive by or see it on the news. It's another thing to really be in the midst of it and see how many hurting people are out there and how lost they are in searching for an answer for their life that's different than the life they're currently living. And while there's a bunch of organizations that are all wonderful and good, including ours, that are trying to help this situation, all of us are a little lost too.
Right.
We are all seeking to find a solution for this problem. And at times it's disheartening coming to the conclusion that, there isn't an easy answer. But yet we're all passionate about finding an answer and providing hope to some people that right now maybe feel a little hopeless.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are a little bit isolated from the problem, but you're right there in the front lines. And I think many of us know that many people are struggling with homelessness, poverty, and even addiction in the Lower Mainland. And I'm expecting you're seeing the number of people experiencing that is skyrocketing even since 2020. So how are you addressing this increasingly growing need?
Yeah, so homelessness in the Vancouver area is up 32% since 2020. That's massive, right?
Yeah.
That's a massive change. And so one of the things that we're beginning to look at more and more is what is the one thing that kind of makes UGM special amongst everything else that's going on that we can focus on. When I came here, I was just absolutely blown away by the strength of the recovery programs that we do here at UGM, how we're willing to walk alongside somebody for up to 5 years to ensure that they maintain their sobriety, that full continuum of care. And so how do we continue to lock into that more and more and more? When somebody's hungry, we need to feed them. When somebody is needing a place to stay, we need to give them shelter. When somebody needs a rain jacket because they're scared or they're worried about being wet that night, we need to have the gear to be able to help them with that. But where does transformation really happen? It doesn't really happen in that meal. When transformation really, really happens, it's when somebody comes to the place of saying, I want to change my life. I want to get off of the drugs or the alcohol that is currently consuming my life. And I want to live a different life. And UGM is really, really special in how it is determined to walk with people for as long as possible to ensure that not only do they meet recovery, but they enter a place of sustaining that recovery for the rest of their lives.
That is so powerful. Because I think the temptation, the natural human temptation, is to kind of ignore the problem or dismiss it or push it aside or to excuse it away. But it's really Christ's redemptive love, as you have articulated, that makes a difference. And it's apparent in so much of the work that's done by your staff. So talk about how you're navigating the complexity of being a Christian organization in an increasingly secular world, because I can imagine that can't be easy all the time.
Yeah, and for sure, there's always that bit of a tension point of how do we remain true to our Christ-centered value,
Right.
which we're very, very passionate about, and it's at the core of what we do. It's our why, it's our motivation, and we believe the love of Christ is transformational. And so, how do we bring that love of Christ into our work with, on the other hand, respecting people where they're at? And so, I think the tension that we feel sometimes is just really around ensuring that our motivation is always centered in Christ, that the organization, prays and is blanketed in prayer, that we acknowledge that this is God's mission, that we just get to be a part of it. And the same hand, people that maybe don't share our faith, what they look at is the quality of work that we do. And, is our work research-based, which it is? Is our work, current and keeping up with the way things are in the industry, and we do that very, very well. And then there's the fruit of our work. Are people seeing from the outside lives being transformed? Are they seeing us make a difference? And so I think when the evidence is there that we're doing good things in the right way for the right reasons, yet we're holding true to our core Christian values, there's respect on both sides. Those that share our faith or come from a different faith perspective respect the fact that, we're maintaining our core Christ-centered value. And then those that maybe don't share our faith look at what we're doing and go, you know what? We may not share their faith, but we sure admire the way they go about their jobs.
I love that word you used, evidence. The truth
Yeah.
is your life actually speaks louder than any words you can speak anyway. And so, yeah, I really appreciate that. All of us have that opportunity. That is our testimony to live what we believe. But I'm also curious about your Women and Family
Yeah.
Center. It's been operating since 2022, I believe. And so how are the lives of women and children being changed through this center?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's so amazing. My first, even before I started, they gave me a tour of the place, and I was just absolutely blown away by what I saw. Had this moment of going, I'm so honored to be a part of this organization. I can't believe they think I can lead it, just because it was just, so impressive. These are some of the things that we're seeing. We're seeing women who would have maybe lost their child to social services are not, because they're entering into a recovery program with their children. We're seeing women who have lost their children to the foster care system after a period of time of working with us and maintaining their sobriety are being reunited with their kids. There's nothing more moving and more powerful than to see a mom reunited with her children. It's incredible to see that kind of work. Women are becoming employed. We have a wonderful childcare program. And so, kids are being supported and helped. One of the philosophies in our Women and Family Center is just simply this. We are here to support the child without shaming the mother. And that's so powerful because there's so much shame in our community, and the people that come to us feel so much shame. We're not going to add to that shame. We're just going to tell them that they have dignity, they have worth, they have value, they are loved, and their children need them as their mom, and we will help them as much as we possibly can so that they can become the kind of mom that they want to be. It's just great, wonderful work.
Well, thank you for all you do. It really is amazing. Thank you for bringing the front lines. And if you're watching this and you'd like to get involved, you can visit our website, 700clubcanada.ca, and you can find out information on how you can partner with us as we partner with UGM in making a difference. Thanks, Dean, for being with us today.
Thank you very much.